This video, I want to talk about uh, our mindsets when we are transitioning. I actually touched on a little bit of it, but I want to dive a little bit deeper and get into this a little bit more. Your mindset. While you're transitioning and you're in that little place in between from your last step to your next step, your mindset is very, very important. It's important that no matter what we go through, whether it's good or bad, from that initial step that we just came from, whether it's good or bad, we have to examine our mindset. Here's why. Because again, if we went through something very bad or a very hurtful situation, like a relationship or something. Say you went through a relationship and it was a bad relationship and it kind of left a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Your heart is affected now. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got to think about this, and yeah, I think it's very important to examine your mindset because you really need to. You can't if you're upset or you're hurt. You can't. You don't want your next move. You don't want to be operating in that in the next move. You understand what I'm saying? You want to stay in a safe zone. I'm not saying don't get upset. That's bull. Things that hurt you, things that bother you or in a negative way, you need to handle that some kind of way. And I'm talking about mentally because it's very important how you handle it. Now, from a heartbreak, I can tell you right now, I probably experienced uh, a lot of different aspects of hurt for with the heartbreak, and I went through some different things. Uh, Falling in love for some of us could be kind of hard. A lot of us we take love serious. Our minds, the way that we operate when we fall in love, when we're dealing with in love or in a loving relationship, or what we think is a relationship, we take that very serious. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to an end, if it shall, and it happens to come in a very hurtful way, the way you walk off with that, hey, that has a whole lot to do with things. Personally, I would highly suggest that you take some time to yourself after a heartbreak in a relationship, and don't mix it up with anything. No false promises, no temporary relationships, no just to get by kind of things. Nah. Uh-uh. Matter of fact, I think the worst thing that you can do is get out of a relationship and go to somebody else. For what? You get the satisfaction of escaping from the relationship or the hurt that you just went through. Meanwhile, the other person, they having a ball. They chilling. I mean, they getting what they want. They getting a little piece of you and they getting satisfied in the process. So, I mean, what's the problem? Well, here's the thing. When you come out of a relationship where you got your heart broken, that means that you feel deeply in love. If you going all and you just rushing into another relationship or any kind of a ship, then and you're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You're vulnerable. Why would you do something like that? It's not going to do anything. This is when it's possible to get caught up in something that you would never ever go get involved in, get yourself involved with, because you're too weak. If you were at your best, you would not even go for something like that. So I'm not going to sit here and I would suggest something like that. No. Take some time for yourself. Take some time and get your mind right. You understand what I'm saying? Now, The reason why this is important is because ain't nobody got time to be playing. Uh, Nobody wants to be hurt. Okay. And if you don't take some time to get your mindset correct, the next person you get involved with is going to end up with a lot of pain. I'm going to go into this a little bit deeper, but I just want to stay on the subject real quick. And the subject is transitioning and your mindset. So I gave you an example about relationships and how to be prepared. I think that's very important. Take your time. Get yourself right. You understand what I'm saying? What just happened to me? I don't care what the situation is. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's incarceration time, it really doesn't matter what it is. It can be something from family. You still take that time and examine and get your mindset right. Now, I can tell you this: when you get in a position where your mindset is very important, you want to try to make sure that you don't operate out of fear or hatred. Um, a lot of things that happen to us that negatively affect us can really get to us, and it can take a lot of time just to heal, just to get over that kind of stuff. Keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. So, yeah, you don't want to operate out of hatred. Now, I'm not gonna say don't get mad or don't get upset. Oh no, no. If it hurts you, it hurts you. Period. If it hurts you, it hurts you. I'm not gonna sit up here and dismiss anyone's feelings because I don't think that's a human way to deal with anything. I think it's wrong. I think it's jacked up. Don't ignore me or ignore my feelings. What's wrong with you? It's not cool. It's not okay. That just means that you don't care. And oh, we're gonna have a discussion about that. But again, when you transitioning, yeah, you want to get your mindset right. Get yourself right. In the way the only way you really can do that is really read. I like to start at the Bible. And I think that the Bible has so many things that can help us contribute to doing the right things for the right reasons. And but again, you got to have your mind right. So yeah, start in the Bible, start reading up on some things, get yourself together, examine what you're thinking about, so you can make some changes accordingly. I was mad, but you know what? Was it that serious? Yeah, that hurt, but should I go in and try to kill this person? I mean, you think, your mindset is very important. So you want to examine your own mind and determine whether or not it's in a very toxic place. Because if it is, then I need to go seek some help and kind of get that together. I don't like to, don't take that the wrong way. I mean it just like I said. When I say seek some help, that can be from somebody, I would suggest it be from a trusted source. Um, what I mean by that is somebody that you feel like you can, that you can listen to. Let me clear that up real quick. Uh, I'm not gonna say somebody that you can trust. It can be somebody that you can't trust, somebody that you don't even know. Listen, before we start shooting down people and what we think they are or what we uh, think we like or dislike about the person, you know what? I think it's a wise idea to just take the lesson, sit back, listen, pay attention, and get the lesson. That's how you start working on your mindset. Um, for the most part, you're gonna get a lot of people who are going to say something that's actually going to be very nice, very helpful. Well, for the most part, people are nice, especially when they see that you're in help, that you need help or some kind of assistance. So some people will say something really positive and pretty nice. Now, on the other hand, you'll get some people that say something very rude, very unnecessary. Uh, but you sit back and examine it all. Examine it all. You can take bits and pieces. You take whatever you want from it. Now, if it's a positive person and they're actually kind of right, might not even be right, but they are saying something that you might be able to try. You understand what I'm saying? Now, on the other hand, you might have somebody who just come off all in a whole different feel, ain't got nothing nice to say. It's just totally bad, and it's not even about them. It's just their whatever they got up their sleeve. That's just whatever. Now, if you're paying attention, you will know how to put those things in its place. Period. If it's unnecessary, it's just totally unnecessary and it's not good for me. I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you got to say. Might even cut you off. Dismiss myself from the situation. Might be a little bit too much for me, or too little. It could be wasting my time, and I'll just relieve myself from the situation. It's just really, I mean, whatever. Now, what am I going to take, and what can I possibly take from somebody who's offered a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff? Well, a lot. You really can take a lot from that. Number one, you can tell if this person is even concerned about you at all, or is this just something that about them? Sometimes you'll get some people who will come along and they'll offer some advice or whatever, but you'll find that their advice has got a lot to do with what just happened to them. Well, maybe brother ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't want to be involved in all that. But what I'm going to take from that is, you know what? This could, what this person is saying could have something to do with my mindset. Sometimes we might take off a little bit too early before we even get a lesson or before we even hear what the person is really trying to say to us. And when you do that, you tend to miss the whole bit. You have to miss the whole lesson. Be open. Be open and listen to the things that you don't want to hear. Sometimes people are really throwing out, I mean, just throwing out gems to you. And a lot of times we don't pick them up because we dismiss things too fast. Might not be on your level what they're talking about, but if you just sit back, listen, just have some patience or whatever, let them finish. It might become a time or a day when you actually have to remember something that they said because it actually uh, is relevant to what you're going through. A lot of stuff comes in. We never know what kind of information that we're getting. A lot of times we don't get the information that we're the way that we want to get it, because if you really want something, you have to do some research on it, get to it. So again, your mindset, very important. Examine it. Don't run away too fast. Take everything and examine everything. Until next time.